Hi, evening everyone. So in a seat, please, if you can begin by bringing all of yourself in. So you might find that having a bit of movement here feels right, as if you're gathering yourself in, you're getting the whole of yourself here for this just over an hour class, to really tune in and to notice and to slow it all down, and all the goodness that you're going to receive from tonight. So to really be here. So it might mean, well, I'm going to get a bit like we're underwater. So these are tendrils. You're gathering things in. You're gathering in yourself. So start with a little bit of a swaying, or maybe it's more of a spiraling of the spine. So like a loose corkscrew motion. Maybe the hands on the knees just to facilitate with that rolling forward and round and back. Because there's no wrong way, it's your way. It's about being in your body. But I just think having a little bit of easeful movement just to begin with, to really be right here, be here. To arrive, to settle in your body, to land. And it might be nice to involve the breathing as well, so maybe cleansing breath in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And it's that commitment to pause whatever stuff's been going on in the day, whatever stuff is happening after tonight's class, all that to the side. It's finding that bit of space to be your true self. And you could also ask yourself a question of what's important here. So why do you come to a practice? What needs to be not pulling at your attention? None of those thoughts, and they're going to come in, but what can you ignore or put to the side so that you can focus on yourself? And then when it feels like, yeah, I've got a bit of that energy in the right place, be still. Noticing the breath. Noticing the connection with the earth and the support that comes up to the earth, to the ground, and all the parts of your body that are in contact with the ground. So you're feeling that grounded energy, as well as a little bit of spicy, a bit of movement energy, as the earth's energy is drawn up through the spine, all the way up towards the crown of the head. And then as you breathe out, the energy travels back down. Maybe it's spreading out down the legs. Feeling a little bit more settled. Again, keeping your full attention on the breath, on the rise and the fall. And as you soften the front of the body, the shoulder blades relaxed. Any tension around the face, at the eyebrows, the cheeks, the jaws, that all softens. And your awareness is within, so you're noticing all those subtle sensations. What is there right now? Just notice. And then let it go. So maybe it's the sensation of the breath that you are connecting with, the movement, the sound of the breathing. Using the breath as an anchor to stay in the present moment. Slow and steady breaths. The inhale, allowing the spine to lengthen. And the exhale, a little bit more of a softening happening. A bit more connection through the sit bones. Shoulders relax down. The space around the eyes soften. Noticing where the mind is. How does the breath feel? How does the body feel? Now we'll do a couple of squeezes of the shoulders up to the ears, keeping our eyes closed if they are closed, or our gaze lowered. As we breathe out, breathing out through the mouth, shoulders relax. 2 or 3 more times. Tucking the chin into the chest. Holding that. And then tilting the right ear towards the right shoulder. Maybe turning the chin a little bit up towards the sky. Just being aware how it feels. Staying in a place of comfort. Maybe slow breathing here. And as you're ready, floating the head back into the centre. Before moving over to the other side, we can notice that side we've just held. Or maybe by holding that side, we've noticed the other side and how that feels. And we'll take the left ear over to the left shoulder. Again, we can always turn the chin just a little bit up to the corner of the room. And floating the head back into the neutral, back into centre. And maybe a wobble of the head. Any side to side movement, maybe turning the head a couple of times. And then we're going to lift the arms up, take them out to the side. As we breathe in, we might lift the sternum, we might lift the gaze up as well, above. And then as we exhale, give yourself a hug. So we can cross the arms, holding on to maybe the side of the body or a shoulder or a bit of both. You can tuck the chin in towards the chest here as well as we squeeze yourself in. And then when you're ready to take another breath, opening up the arms, Again, that little lift happening up through the body, and we'll switch arms. So whichever arm was one way, turn it round. Again, maybe tucking the chin in a little bit for that hug. Breathe it in. And then take the arms back to the knees or into the lap. And we'll have a moment to pause. Eyelids might lower or close completely. Checking in, how did that posture make you feel? Any emotions that run up? And we'll do a seated twist. Picking up the right hand, taking it over to the left lung. And where you're going to use the exhale to facilitate the twist like we would normally. So as you take an inhale, we'll stay where we are. We can lengthen the spine. And then the exhale allows that little twist to happen over to the left. So we are drawing in the abdomen a little bit here. That really does help. Not super firm, just a little bit, just a nice draw. And then we'll turn over to the other side. Exhaling. Left hand comes to the right lung. And we could do this a couple of times. We might speed up a little bit. Switching your hands as you twist to the other way. Still exhaling as you breathe out. And when you're ready, coming back to the centre. And then we can uncross the legs. If the legs were crossed, send them out in front. You can always have a bend of the knees here. We're going to do 10 breaths, holding it into a forward fold. So I've got 2 blocks here. I'm going to support my forehead. You can always travel the arms down the legs and let the head hang. Include some pillows to rest the forehead stacked on top of your legs. So we'll be here for 10 breaths. No need to be hurried. When you've done your 10 or thereabouts, come onto all fours. Sliding down onto your front, coming into Sphinx pose. So we can widen the arms here. Take them off the mat. So keeping your forearms on the mat. And we don't want any compression here with the lower back. So if you can feel like you're lifting the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back, you can press on down through the pubic bone. And I think by pressing into the forearms, you can feel that tiny little lift happening as well. Up through the middle. 5 breaths here. And then to lower yourself completely down, forehead to the mat. Picking up the right foot, kicking the foot back towards you. It's going to be a quad stretch, so nothing active, a gentle stretch. Keeping your forehead down. You can include your right hand to hold on to the foot or the ankle or anything, any part. That's all. Just a little stretch here. You can see how it feels by pressing the heel away into the hand. That's an option. And then straight change legs. So keeping your forehead low, kicking the left foot up, maybe into your left hand. Okay, everyone, release that foot. Pressing into the hands, taking the hips towards the heels, coming into your child's pose of choice. Maybe a block here or a pillow to rest the forehead feels super gorgeous. Staying low as you breathe into your abdomen. Full, steady breaths. Slowing it all down. And when you're ready, lifting the forehead off the mat or block, coming into your tabletop. Hands under the knees, knees under the hips. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow when you're ready to begin. Moving with your own breath rhythms. Finishing that sequence wherever you are, back into neutral. You can be still for a moment or two. And then make sure there's space around you. I'm going to turn around as we stretch the right leg out to the side, taking the hands in the other direction. So left hand, left knee and right leg out stretched. And then we're going to take the right hand off the mat, coming into a half moon balance. Taking the right hand over to the heart space, we can stay here. You can lift that foot a little bit or a little bit more off the mat. You can always rest that foot on a block or against a wall. And then reaching the arm over the head or straight above to start with, and then taking it overhead. Connecting with your breath. Taking one more breath here, wherever you are. And bringing it all back into all fours, maybe for a wiggle and a shimmy. And then over to the other side, or well, stretching the other leg out. Taking the left hand over to the heart space. When you're ready to take the arm over the head, if that left foot's coming off the mat as well. Maybe we're reaching the arm over the head. Or maybe it feels really nice to keep the hand over the heart. Awesome, everyone. Let's come back in. Into a kneeling, or to sit astride a block or two, or cross-legged, doesn't matter. Let's interlink the fingers at the chest. As we inhale, let's reach the arms. That feels a bit intense. Let's open up the hands. If we can turn the heels of the hands up towards the sky, or maybe easy it out a little bit more, widen the arms, having that stretch upwards. See if we can roll the shoulders down the back as well, so it's a bit of a less of a stretch. And then we can lean over to one side, creating a C with the body, back into the center, over to the other side, back into the center, stretching up one last time. And then as you release, if the hands were interlinked or if the hands were separate, let's begin by circling the wrists, not the hips. Oh my gosh. Gently the hands come down. You choose if it's the hands are in fists or if the fingers are out. Being free. And then one more for the arms. Arms out in front. Take the right arm under the left as you cross them. Wrap the right arm around the left. And then on your inhale, lifting the elbows just a little. Exhale, we'll tumble forward just a little bit. So folding forward, softening, rounding the shoulders. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhaling, lengthening the spine, and exhaling. When you've finished your third, unwrap the arms, take them out wide, maybe a stretch. And then we'll change the side. So left arm wraps around the right. And then when you're ready to lift the elbows up on the inhale, folding just a little bit forward on the exhale. Releasing the arms. Maybe having a bit of a jiggle. Shake out the hands. Shake out the elbows. Shake out the shoulders. Shake out the head. Move that hair. And then we're transitioning into all fours. Turning into a downward facing dog. If you love having the blocks there underneath the hands, then do that. I'm going to go into a very gentle downward dog. There's going to be 2 of them. So I'd like you to have your hands about as wide as your shoulders and then your feet a little bit wider than you normally would. Keeping that knees softened. Pressing down through the fingers, the finger joints, the toe joints. As you press down, lifting the hips up. Maybe going for a paddle one at a time with the feet. And then walking their feet towards the hands or the hands towards the feet. Make sure there's space behind you for our next part. Keeping in a forward fold. Bending the knees a lot here. Shaking out the head. Letting it all hang out. Maybe a sway here. Maybe a little bit of forwards and backwards. Coming onto the balls of the feet, they're back onto the heels. Sighs. Breathing out through the mouth, definitely. Notice all the sensations. Two more breaths. As you slow it down, any of that swirling motion, planting the palms of the hands into the mat in front of you. So to take a bit of your weight as you pick up the right foot and send it behind. Back knee to the floor, we come into our low lunge. And we'll circle the arms out wide, up towards the sky, and then bring the hands back into the chest and towards the heart as we come into a low lunge. We might look up, we might have a little bend in our lower back. It doesn't matter. With our hands at our heart, we're going to breathe the arms in front, outstretching the arms as we breathe out, opening up the arms, coming into our twist. On the next inhale, the hands close back in front, over to the other side. So in your own time, right arm widens. Exhale, the arms come together. And then we'll take the hands back to the floor. And with that front foot, the left foot, we're going to swing it mindfully behind us, keeping the foot off the mat. Keeping the leg out stretched. And we will come into a slightly different twist now. Placing that foot on the mat, the left foot. Our right hand comes to support us as we peel the left hand up and off the mat. So going into oh no, sorry, I've done it wrong. Into a weird twist. Right arm lifts, left foot behind. Sorry everyone. Coming back into tabletop. And then we'll take the chin, or maybe it's the forehead that comes down to the mat, coming into our puppy pose. Hips stay where they are, arms widen. This is also called the melting heart posture. Ready for our next downward facing dog. When you're ready to curl the toes underneath, lifting the hips up high. And keeping the feet wide, pedaling the feet perhaps here again. And then feet to hands or hands slowly towards each other, coming into that forward fold. Resting even more this time, so the knees might be super bent and the tops of the thighs are supporting your torso. Taking 2-3 cleansing breaths here. Planting both palms firmly down in front of the feet, this time sending the left foot behind. Knee to the mat. Coming into our low lunge, circle the arms up and over the head, bringing the hands down towards the heart. Breathing in as we straighten the arms out in front. Exhale, right arm heads behind, into our twist. Inhale, hands come back together in front and over to the other side, taking your time. exhale. Hands back down to the mat. Picking up that front foot, taking it all behind, having that stretch, that lift of the whole of the leg. Oh, sorry fish, keeping the foot lifted. And then that foot comes down. Now let's get it the right way. Coming into the twist, so it means the left arm lifts. Right leg extended, left arm lifted. On that breath, when you're ready, bring it all back down to the mat, onto your belly and into crocodile pose, resting your arms, making a pillow for your face to rest. Being aware of the whole of the back of your body, how it feels out in the open. Noticing the muscles of your abdomen stretching into the floor, and then that receive, release, letting go. In small little movements, shimmy yourself onto a side. You can always create a little pillow with your lower arm here. And then shimmy the last bit of yourself onto the back, onto your back. Bending the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. Being aware of the back of your head, pressing down, the whole line of your spine in contact with the mat. And the back of the shoulders and the arms, the soles of the feet. Noticing it all as you welcome all the sensations. And then drawing both knees in or out to the sides. And keeping the left knee bent, and it might feel more comfortable to hold underneath the knee with your hands, otherwise holding on to the top of the knee with both hands. And with the inhale, we're going to straighten the right leg down towards the mat or up into the air. It doesn't matter. So when you're ready to inhale, we'll straighten the leg. So we use all of the abdomen here. As you exhale, we bend the knee, bringing the knee back in towards you. And this is really good to do slowly. Slowly and mindfully, doesn't matter how many. Notice if you're holding any tension in the jaws, around the shoulders. Let it go. Slow, steady breaths here. And then when you've done your however many or however few, place both of the feet back on the mat, knees bent, and notice. So that's the really important part of noticing what's just happened in your body, that sensory awareness, all the feelings there. And then drawing the knees back in, holding on to the right knee. And again, when you're ready, breathing in, we straighten the leg to the bottom of the mat. Don't need to completely straighten the leg, of course. When you're ready to exhale, drawing the knee back in. And when you've done your few or many, bring the feet back down to the mat and have that interoceptive pause. And now we'll do some supine pigeon, so picking up the right foot, crossing the ankle over the left thigh or knee. We can lift the left foot off the mat a little bit. You can interlink the fingers behind the thigh of the left leg. How about a little to and fro here, side to side? How does that feel? How does the breath feel as you do that? Where can you feel the breath in the body? And staying here, with the ankle, we can lift the right leg or keep the ankle over the left thigh. Time for some ankle circles. Maybe flaring out the toes, as if they're waving a queen's goodbye. And then swap sides. Left ankle across the right thigh. Maybe lifting that right foot off the mat just a little. Maybe interlinking the fingers behind the right thigh. Maybe that to and fro, side to side. If your right foot is in the air somewhere, place it back down and bring your attention to your left ankle. Circling, easing out the creaks, maybe taking the leg over off the ankle, off the knee, straightening the leg, up to you. with the next big breath, bringing everything back down towards the mat, keeping the knees bent, soles of the feet to the floor, picking up both hands now, rubbing the hands together. And placing the hands over the face, breathing in the heat, the warmth. And then with the pads of the fingers, beginning to tap over the forehead, out to the temples, the space between the eyebrows, tapping down to the cheekbones, the sides of the nose, out to the sides of the face and the ears, to the jaw, maybe more of a massage here. Slowing the circling down, using the index fingers to draw a moustache. Taking both hands, the heel of the hands underneath the chin to press the cheeks up. Getting the index finger and thumb to pull at the fleshy parts of the ears, or to pinch a couple of times. And then to the back of the neck. Again, maybe the finger pads here, maybe the thumb is involved. As you massage, now into the back of the scalp, a hairdresser's massage. Is there any tingling? Is there a bit of heat being felt somewhere else, or there's coolness? Now take one hand to the scruff of the neck, the shoulders, squeeze, and then down an arm, raising the right arm as you gently twist the skin all the way to the wrist a couple of times, twisting the skin. And then with the right hand, taking the skin at the scruff of the neck. And then again, that twisting motion all the way up the arm to the wrist. A couple of times here. And then straightening out the legs, coming into a star shape, perhaps taking up lots of space as elegantly as possible. Maybe the tongue's already sticking out. A moment of being still. Turning your awareness within. Maybe it's the heartbeat, maybe it's some vibration, some pulsing. Listening to the body. And then we'll bring both the knees pointed towards the ceiling as we bend the knees, soles of the feet to the mat. With the right hip first, we'll take the hip for a circle. So really slow, laborious circles of the hips. The arms might be out in a T for a bit of stability. You might prefer to straighten the other leg. You might prefer to have one hand on the knee for a bit of direction and support. You might want to linger here before changing this direction of the circle. Nurturing movement, giving your body some love, some holding. And then pause, bring that foot back down. Be still. And over to the other hip. Taking the knee out in circles. Luxurious movement, nice and slow. Noticing the fullness of your breath, the fullness of the exhale. Again, a pause, a little linger before switching the direction of the circle. And then ready to be still. Hands might come into the body, knees might knock together. And then we're going to have a little bit more of an easeful movement, sitting upright and grabbing whatever your bolster is of the night. And having the edge of the bolster to the right side of your body, next to your legs, which are swished out to the left. So if your bolster is not long enough to take the whole of your body and your head, have a block or something to support your head. Make sure your head's just not going to be dangling off the edge. So with the bolster to the right of your body, of your thigh and your hip, melt the body, melt the side of the body down into the support of the bolster. And then it's quite nice here to have the arms, maybe to hold on to the sides of the bolster. And wherever you are, don't think that's how you've got to be for the next 4 minutes. Do move, have a wiggle, make sure that wherever you are is really comfortable. Melting the front of the body down, relaxing the shoulders and the arms are growing heavy, the head's growing heavy. starting to make little movements and then pressing yourself away from the bolster. To then switch sides. My bolster's over to my left. And when you're ready, turning the side of the body in towards the bolster, holding on maybe as well as you settle down. Perhaps taking a couple of deeper breaths and really moving at a snail speed, easily moving into the final resting posture of tonight. So how will that look for you? So let's take a couple of minutes if you would like a couple of sips. Making your nest as cozy as possible. Maybe elevating your legs a little bit. Is that absolutely what would feel amazing. And if there's any little bits of movements you'd like to do before getting into that place of stillness, go ahead. If the body wants something else, a little twist or a stretch. And having any layers on, because the body does get cold when you're still. So if you're now in your final resting pose, and you're settling on down, you've nestled your spine into its coziness, into all the layers, the blankets underneath, and your limbs feel supported, your head does, your hands can rest fully. Everything's got support around it. Maybe there's an eye pillow or some kind of scarf or fabric over the eyes. I've got a guided meditation I'm going to read out to you. And then when I finish talking, there's going to be some silence. So if you prefer to have your music on in the background, then that's your choice. And then you'll hear my voice again to get you awake. Maybe, or maybe not. So allowing yourself to be still, of course, with the exception of your breath. You observe, you listen, you feel as you drop into the experience of your body. Taking 3 nourishing breaths as you lengthen the exhale. And then consider Mother Earth's healing light, her energy that comes up through the earth to you. And it covers every part of you. And it's earthy, toned, red-toned terracotta light. That's all around. And it connects you to the universal light that is above, and it's all around you. And it connects into all of you, and then into the earth. So you are bathed in this earthy red tone, this light. So imagine you are standing or sitting or lying somewhere in nature, and the sun is about to come up. And it's the first time from the night. Maybe it's a place you know very well, or there's a feeling that you know, or it's an image. Allow it to become, to be right at the front of your mind's eye. And it's the middle of the night, just as the night and the day switch, and the sun's about to appear. There's this incredible peacefulness, this total stillness there, and you are quite in awe of how it is. Everything around you is asleep. It's very much in pause. So slowly, as you look to the horizon, there is a shimmer of light, a tiny speck. It's a beautiful golden light that is spreading its beautiful colours all around. And as the sun slowly rises up into the sky, super slow, you see the colour changing, the tones from dark to light, the shadows. And what once wasn't there is now there in its full glory. You feel your body awaken as your surroundings wake up, so do you. And you see much more clearly now where you are as the sun shines on your surroundings and amongst the nature. You are looking at all the little details. Everything is very all-consuming around you. It's totally mind-boggling for you. As you lie there on planet Earth, and you feel the sun's warmth moving through your body. Maybe there's a sense of its vibrations and its energies being felt inwards, not just the heat warming up your body, your skin, but more of an internal feeling, an internal warmth, a buzzing, a vibration. So as the sun rises up slowly, spreading its light, warming your body and clearing your vision, maybe you get the feeling it's a whole new place where you are standing. So you're noticing the lights and the shadows, and what once was shadows is now the lights. And without comparing or judging, there is something different here, and its qualities you're noticing. You're allowing the rays of the sun to travel through it, to permeate so effortlessly, so soft and so strong. There is a clear, fresh energy here. Everything has a newness to it, as if there's been a cleansing or a rejuvenation little by little. And as you feel yourself waking up to the sun and its strength, this incredible presence, this energy, this joy, this excitement, it's flowing easily through you. And as you are in this incredible beauty of nature that's surrounding you, you turn your eye on yourself, on the body, part by part, noticing how it feels, piece by piece. So noticing those small movements, making the spine move side to side, twisting, twirling, the back of their head and its connections with the ground underneath. How the body and the mind are all one. And there's an energy of love and strength that's all around. is also this incredible balance that you're aware of. That each part of ourselves has its own rhythm and its purpose. And remembering to have kind words to be used about yourself. So allowing any of these thoughts and the feelings that are going to come up to just be, and to not have any judgment with them. See them pop up at the surface like bubbles. As you are open to a natural flow, just like the sun, the rising and then the setting of it. Allowing yourself now to feel this incredible, all-consuming peace that is moving through the body. It's a peaceful acceptance. As you allow yourself to be honest and to be truthful, to be yourself. Bringing your attention back to your body and all the parts of the body that are in contact with the earth. Maybe moving the head side to side as you listen to sounds outside. Maybe there's sounds of nature, maybe there's sounds of other people in your home. And having a stretch maybe. Maybe clapping your hands, stamping your feet. Noticing the temperature of the room against any of your skin. With your eyelids closed, knowing the shapes of the room, the colours, the texture of the blankets and the carpet underneath, and the sensation of air right at the tip of the nostrils. If you're coming upwards, do bring your blankets if you've got them. Stay cozy. Eyes can remain closed or lowered. And if you had set an intention at the beginning of the class, bring it back. Bring it to the forefront of your mind. And then noticing that peacefulness is there. Maybe there's a bit more of a balance, a clear view, maybe an open heart. Cool. Thank you, everyone.